Well, the 2025 Bharat Mobility Expo, or Auto Expo as you might call it, has started with a big bang. The first car that's broken cover is this, the Maruti Suzuki E Vitara, and it's a really, really important car. You see, this marks the entry of India's largest automaker into the electric vehicle space, and they are doing so by going all out. First and foremost, this car will be made at the Gujarat plant. And the big headline figure is that Maruti Suzuki says you will get over 500 kilometers of range per full charge. That's really incredible. Other things of note is that this will come with 7 airbags as standard. As Maruti Suzuki says, they will be having a big focus on safety. And in that tune, they will also bring out level 2 ADAS with this car right here. It has a long wheelbase, 2700 millimeter to be precise, which is meant to give you a lot of space inside the cabin. As you can see, it's really crowded here, so we'll try to show you the car from the inside. But in case we don't, we have to give you a perspective of size. And for that, I have to refer to the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara that we already have on sale. This is similar in terms of dimensions. Now with that, let me take you through the design elements of the car. Starting with the front, as you can see, there's a lot of plastic, painted plastic at the front, but the overall vibe of the car is that it's a muscular SUV. What I also like is that they've given you vent-like features on the bumpers at the front, which gives it a bit of an ICE vehicle vibe, which basically means it looks like an internal combustion engine powered car. And that is something a lot of people will appreciate. This is not the swoopy, clean lines, curvy electric car that pretty much every new EV looks like. This looks pretty similar to an internal engine combustion powered car. And thanks to the power of Auto Expo, the color of the car has changed because it was really crowded out there, and I wanted to show you the side profile, starting with the 18-inch alloy wheels that you see over here. As you can see, it has a very aero-friendly design. It's meant to aid range. Once again, it's claimed to be over 500 kilometers per full charge. As per global test cycles is what Maruti Suzuki says. So we'll have to wait and see what the actual range is in real-world driving conditions. Also, I want to bring to your notice the charging flap that you see on the front fender. Another thing to note is the amount of body cladding that you can see on the side profile. It's a bit unconventional because a lot of EVs go for that clean, smooth look. This one is going for that rugged look, and as a result, once again, you see a lot of these SUV-like styling elements. Now coming to the back, the thing to notice is that the C-pillar is where the door handle is mounted, just like the old Swift. So for those of you who liked the older Swift, well, you have a nice throwback over there. Again, a floating roof design from Maruti Suzuki. Overall, it's a very butch side profile. Let's get to the back. Now coming to the rear profile of the E Vitara, once again you get that muscular, layered look at the back. What I also like is that the tail light design is very intricate. I really think this gives the car a unique appearance. It will be easily recognizable on the road. And as you can see, it's got a lot of layering going on. So that's the exterior design of the E Vitara. How do you find it? Let us know in the comments. Now, one of the good things about being at an exhibition like this is that you get to see the car from angles where you wouldn't really see. Sorry about the lady passing, but what you see essentially here is the underside of the new E Vitara. This will give you an insight of how and where the battery is packed. There are 2 battery pack options that you will get with the E Vitara. There's a 61 kilowatt hour option and a 49 kilowatt hour option. That goes without saying. The big 500 kilometer plus range claim will be for the larger battery pack. Another thing to note is, if you can see over there, there's a battery mounted over the front axle, which is what will develop all the power. And there are multiple drivetrain options that the car comes with in foreign markets, but we get the front wheel drive option in India. Now let's talk about some features on board as well. I'm going to go through that really quickly. The things to note is first and foremost safety. Maruti Suzuki says 7 airbags will be offered as standard, and additionally you can get some of the variants with level 2 ADAS functionality as well. So a lot of firsts coming from Maruti Suzuki. Now finally, I've managed to get inside the car. Let me show you the interiors of the E Vitara. The first thing that you will notice is that it's unlike any other Maruti Suzuki car on sale in India. There's a lot of effort that's clearly been done to up the premium portion of the car. I really like this contrast upper half of the dash, and Maruti Suzuki says there's use of some soft touch materials as well. We'll have to see how it pans out in real world driving conditions when we have more time with the car. First glance is everything looks properly put together and looks like it's used good quality materials as well. What I do like and not like so much at the same time is this large center console over here, which is completely finished in gloss black, as you can see over here. This car is brand new. It's only been a couple of hours since the doors have been opened, and I can see some scratches on this already. So maintaining this in everyday driving conditions will be a bit of a task. What's good to see is a wireless charging pad, two decently sized cup holders, and the attraction here is this knob right here. You have to pull it down and select your driving mode. So a different way to interact with the drivetrain of the car. Of course, you get drive modes as well. There are 3 drive modes on offer: Eco, Normal and Sport. And the other thing to note is this right here. This is the launch of the 2-spoke steering wheel from Maruti Suzuki. We've seen this on Tatas, we've seen this on Mahindras. Now the Maruti Suzuki electric car will also come with a 2-spoke steering wheel. Thankfully though, it's not all gloss finished and touch-based controls. You have physical controls over here for things like your volume and your operation of level 2 ADAS systems like automatic cruise control and things like that. What I also like are physical buttons over here for your HVAC systems. And of course, we're talking about a new car, so we have to talk about the screens. This housed in a single housing over here, and you have digital screens on both sides. Maruti Suzuki says there's a whole new UI UX that's been developed for this car, as you can see over here. So we'll spend more time with the car and find out how that fares. Space-wise, it's very comfortable. I have space for my feet. The ergonomics feel on point, as is the case with most of the Maruti Suzuki cars. The first impressions are really solid. Now, let's get to the back. Now coming to the rear seat experience of the E Vitara, well, I'm a fairly large guy. Let's talk about getting in. And as you can see, it's a little bit tight, so you have to squeeze yourself in. Good thing is you have a place to keep your phone over here. But again, this is the state of the new EVs, which are built at a smaller form factor. So you get similar trade-offs. Starting with, of course, is the high floor that you see over here. I am left seated with a little bit knees up. The under thigh support as a result is not very good. For reference, I'm 5'11", and you can see I have just about enough headroom on offer. So overall, it feels a little bit compact. Thankfully, you do have a sunroof, but it's not a panoramic one, so it doesn't stretch all the way to the back. So at least here in these lighting conditions, the cabin feels a little bit compact and not as comfortable as I would have expected. Good things are that you get headrests for all 3 passengers over here at the back. You get rear AC vents, and you get a couple of charging ports over there as well. All in all, the rear seat cabin experience leaves me wanting a bit more. So all in all, that's the new Maruti Suzuki E Vitara for you. It's a really global car that will be made in India. It will be exported to over 100 countries. And this also marks the launch of E4Me, which is what Maruti Suzuki is bringing to the table, which is the name for their electric ecosystem. What they're essentially going to do is set up a large fast charging network through their dealerships in about the top 100 cities, is what they say. You'll also get home charging solutions, and you'll get an app which will help you maneuver through all of these functionalities. So clearly there's a lot of things going on. What do you think of the Maruti Suzuki E Vitara? Well, I'll be hanging down in the comment section to find out just that.